Good morning, everyone. This is Vic from Trading Academy and Investments. And guys, it's been a while. It's been a while that we talked about hims and hers, and I think it's time for a new video. And those of you who have been following me for quite some time, I mean, you already know this is going to be your technical analysis. No fundamentals here, although we already know once again, hims has blown expectations out of the water, right? Very good earnings report about a week ago. And so today we're just going to go ahead and, since my last video, we talked about the previous or the last breakout, right? The last breakout it actually had. And so let's talk about HIMS for a little bit, right? So there is a breakout here, 6 February of this year. We had a close of $9.61. The market pulls back slightly and gives us even a little bit of a higher price, right? So typically, if you look at this close, the $12.04, this is a very important price, right? Because when you look at the market, right? So that was the previous high. Now, again, this is a weekly time frame, guys. So when you look at this candle prior to earnings, right? Look at the high. Look at where it closed at. Once again, $12.04, right? So that was already one red flag for me. I was like, hey, market is having trouble breaking specifically this price. Okay. Now, and then you get the next move down. Even though we had really good earnings, him still shot down. Right. So now let's look at this. I'm gonna go ahead and break this down. Big picture. We're gonna start big picture, and then we're gonna go to the smaller time frames. Right. Typically, I don't like to do that with stocks because it gets a little bit messy. But big picture is the most important thing. Right. So once we had this break of the 961, market goes higher, and then we get a retest down, right? So typically, we already know the market moves in waves. When the market moves in waves, typically the market will look at those of you who know what how market structure works, supply and demand zones, support and resistance, right? We will typically look for these previous zones and test these areas to look and basically bounce off these areas and hopefully continue our actual trend, right? In this case, we already know HIMS is now in an uptrend, right? And we get a retest of zone one, what's considered for me zone one. Um, and let me go ahead. Let's go into specifics here, right? So you guys don't get confused. Zone one for me, right? So on a typical uptrend, right? This is what I'm looking at right here. Okay. So zone one for me is going to be this area right here. So it's going to be this area right here. And then zone two is going to be this area right here, which is the previous lower low or higher low in this case. Okay. Um, if the market, once the market pulls back, it will either retest on zone one and worst case scenario, zone two. Sometimes the market will go ahead and reach all the way down here and then continue to go higher. This does not mean that if we come all the way down here, that's it. This uptrend is over and now we are in a downtrend. They are going to be smaller waves. They're going to be smaller waves within a big move. Okay. That's why I don't like to use smaller time frames when it comes to the stock market. Okay. Um, but anyways, so the whole point of this was to show you what zones I'm actually looking at, right? Zone one, zone two. And so with HIMS, this is zone one, and zone two will typically be like an order block or a red candle prior to the or the retest of a prior level, right? In this case, it would be this red candle right here, which is a higher low. Well, the market breaks and then we get a pullback, but we don't get a pullback to this area right here. Now, all of a sudden, we get this big move candle down previous after earnings, and so This is where it can get very confusing. Okay, for those technical traders like myself, this is where things can be very confusing because if we're in an uptrend, right? If we're in an uptrend, high, low, high, low, we fail to make a high, but look where we're at. Zone one, or this red candle right here is zone two. Okay, zone two. So typically, if I'm waiting for a pullback and it's going to go deeper, this is going to be the target area. Is that order block right there? Okay. So right now, HIMS is kind of is just it's there. It's reacting towards a smaller move, right? On the bigger size, on the bigger time frames, when we go to the monthly time frame, um, those of you who like to trade patterns would be like, hey, there's a possible ascending triangle here, and sure, if you're into those type of things, then okay, got it. But again, still something that I'm kind of a bit concerned about is that so liquidity, right? There's, you can say there's liquidity on both sides. I still see this market obviously shooting higher, but my concern is that I don't see a retest of this area of the previous high, right? And we can say that on the weekly time frame, there's a previous high here, which was the actual breakout of the another previous level. I would like to see HIMS go on to a just a little deeper pullback, right? But right now where it's at, these are potential loading zones, right? I've been in HIMS for since HIMS first initially came out and IPO'd, so 2 years now, right? Actually a little bit over 2 years now. But I mean, just look at this, guys. If for those of you who actually got down here, these were all loading zones for me, and this is just another opportunity for you. So for if you're new, if you're looking at this video and you decided not to get into HIMS, it's still not very late, right? Do your own research. This is just for educational purposes only, but these are areas where I'm looking to load more. Get more stocks, more shares into HIMS, right? At the end of the day, there's a reason why this line is here. This horizontal line 1336 is an actual daily gap. I don't like to trade gaps, but gaps typically are like magnets, right? Eventually, those gaps will tend to get filled. Um, Again, on my previous videos, those who have seen me analyze HIMS is not very, HIMS doesn't normally leave gaps very much, right? Typically, it fills its gaps. However, when the market is trending, forget about those gaps. This is why I'm not a gap trader, right? It could take years for a gap to be filled. So as of right now, I'm not. I see 1336 getting filled, but again, my target area is about almost a $15 area, which is right around 1450, 14-ish is where I see the next major hurdle for HIMS. So guys, hopefully if you're not in this, guys, do your own research. This is I think a really good opportunity for you to make some good amount of income on HIMS. Um, Again, a lot of people said also Dow Jones, right? So look, we're up nice green today for just almost the entire market, right? Dow Jones up almost 200 points. Again, I don't technically do I don't compare HIMS with another stock. I like to look at each stock individually. Again, not too concerned about fundamentals. I only look at earnings reports, pretty much, right? Because HIMS, when it comes to HIMS and the type of business that they're in, let's talk. I mean, what are the things you should be looking at? Well, are they, profitable? Subscription wise, right? They're look at their competitors. Those are the type of things. And I'm just obviously right now, HIMS is just, I just don't know. Other than expenses, right? Yes, but keep in mind they are a fairly still technically a fairly new company, so you'll tend to see that with new companies. But other than that, I mean, look at their competitors, right? I mean, they are beating pretty much anybody out there within the same market of theirs. But guys, this is going to be it. I'm going to go ahead and be creating some other videos, and I'm going to go actually more in depth into the whole market structure aspect. So if you're kind of looking into kind of trading the way I do, or seeing just how I look at the market and how I trade, not just the stock exchange, but also the Forex market, I will be releasing some new videos here shortly. Hope you guys enjoy this. If this is your first time, guys, or have any questions, would like to see me, do some analysis on another stock of yours, just leave it on your comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Guys, enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great day.